Welcome back, everybody, to the 2025 Derby City Classic. This is round number 9, and we are in the 9-ball division. 2 world-class players on your screen. Skyler Woodward on the left, Pijus Labutis on the right. They are lagging for the break. This is a WNT ranking event, and I am your host, Scott Frost. Thank you all for tuning in. This is a race to 9. They are breaking from the box. 3-foul rule is in effect. They are racking the 9 on the spot, which is also a World 9-Ball Tour ranking format, you could say. Pijus Labutis, well, he's got no losses. Skyler Woodward has lost in round number 6 to Francisco Candela. Got Woodward by a score of 9 games to 7. So this is a must-win for Woodward. In this format, it is winner break. Makes things quite a bit tougher racking the 9 on the spot, playing on a 4.5-inch diamond table. Okay, ooh, and he's gotten a bad kiss off the green 6 into the corner. Right out of the gate, ball in hand for Woodward. Tricky 5 ball. 2 to the 3 is also tricky. But he can't be disappointed with ball in hand. Woodward. One of those guys that's just an exceptional player all around. Somebody that I've looked for to do maybe a little better as far as the majors are concerned, but he is young, and I think that he's literally right around the corner, really starting to catch a gear as far as the majors are concerned. It's just one of those things. When you don't really get a big major under your belt, it can become a little bit heavier, but the minute you do, and this young man definitely can, well then things really start to kick up. Not afraid to go short side there. That's really the only angle he had. Does he want to get past the 7 here to do something with the 5, or does he just take what he can on the 4? And that's pretty good. I don't know if he can play the 5-8 combination comfortably. That's what he's looking at. This might have got a little awkward where he can almost fall on top of the 5. Let's see how he finishes here. Oh, no problem. This is the only angle I have to work with, so bear with me. It's not terrible, that's for sure. It's all I have. Pretty quick work, and this is a good sign for the Woodward camp. Early. This out was definitely not straightforward, even though he started out with ball in hand. Just wants to avoid the 9 here, so he goes to the short side once again. I don't know that anybody flows better than Skyler Woodward when he gets going. Speaking of flowing, Woodward takes game number 1. 1 game to 0. You'll notice, got some little ratings down there. Fargo rating, 812 for Woodward, 807 for Labutis. They've got Labutis at 37% to win this match. And he's only trailing 1 game to 0. But stats are stats. I guess over time, well, that's how big it is. Woodward really shining in the Moscone Cup back in 2018, 2019. I still feel like he's coming into his own as far as a player. Premier League pool back in 2024 last year. Finished 7th. What a brutal format that is. I've not seen more played. That was at Jason Shaw's pool room in Connecticut. Looking to make the one in the left-hand side pocket here. And both players short on the one, which is a little surprising. They'll make the adjustment. Could be a result of catching it a bit thin. You don't want to flirt with the 4 here. You can go ahead and come on around. You just don't want to get too far past the 9 either. So 1 rail out. Yeah, the speed's perfect. If you don't know, Pijus Labutis took 2nd last year in the 9-ball. One of my favorite players as of late to watch and cover. I'm a big fan of his game, just like I am Skyler Woodward's. But his transition through the ball, once he's set, is as smooth as anybody's, in my opinion. He can pinch back and hold the 4 for the right side pocket here. He could also play it in the left side or the corner. I think he's looking to pinch back. He's judging it now. Problem is you just don't want to get a little too cramped up on that 4. 4.5-inch pocket. You can afford to cheat the 3 slightly. Yeah, he decided to come all the way out. I think that's a really wise play. Obviously, he's going to choose the right decision. Yeah, in 2024, Labutis earning almost $74,000, which isn't bad. That prize money continuing to rise, especially for this guy, as his experience continues to rise. Demeanor around the table, pretty special. Just like Woodward, Woodward really doesn't have any tells in his game. Yeah, just love watching him set. Once he sets, takes a couple of those little bunch strokes and then a full transition, right? Look at him key into the cue ball here. And then just a nice transition through the ball. Something a lot of these great players do nowadays. You won't see too many world-class players stroke the cue 3 or 4 times. They'll put one nice stroke into it, then get to the bunt side of the cue ball, really dial it in, then pull the trigger when they're ready. Well, making quick work of rack number 2 is Labutis. Looking to tie it up at 2 games apiece, at 1 game apiece, and that's what he's done. Took 3rd in the UK Open in 2024, 9,500 for that. Yeah, he's had a lot of good finishes back in 2024. 17th in the World Pool Championships, 9th in the Night Shot Open. Also took 3rd in the International Open last year, which was a big event for him. Like I said, he took 2nd here at the Derby City Classic in the 9-ball division last year. This is the 3rd of 3 events, obviously. Bank pool is the first, 1 pocket is the second event, and the final event is the 9-ball and it's feast or famine here. You have to be in pretty good condition because you're going to play a lot of pool if you continue to advance. Okay, making an adjustment to the left side of the table. Keep your eye on the 1 to the right side. This is a cut break. Just short. The 1 and 8 down. Can he see any of the 2? If he can, he's got good cover there with the 7, 5, and 4. Looking away from it right away tells me he's looking to roll out. He's not in love with it. Woodward very good tactically. Yeah, I'd be a little afraid to put Skyler down here in this lower left corner. I don't mind this center diamond if he can kick 1 rail to it. Well, we've got to assume he didn't leave him a cut. Really just trying to put the 3 in an awkward position. Boy, it must be close. Coming off the right side of the 2 here. Oh, you can't hit it much thinner. He actually hit it thinner than he expected. Very hard to do. Yeah, how do you avoid the 7 and 5 here? Is he looking at the 1 rail line down here to this short rail? Yeah, I don't believe you can go forward and avoid the 7 or the 5. Yeah, those balls were always kind of there, right? Did he get away with this and have a decent look at the cross side? Carries position. Yeah. Might have. I don't think you could have ended up any better if this ball goes. Meaning the 5 doesn't have him snookered. And honestly, I don't think he had a bigger pocket on the table besides that side pocket. No matter where he would have put the cue ball, so that was not by design, but worked out well. Position.
Big crowds to table 8, you're on the clock.
Yeah, nice and tight to the 5 here. He can afford to stay short on it. Might take a little more distance on the 6, but I don't see any trouble. Yeah, and as I look at some of Labutis' results in 2024, was really knocking on the door of a lot of the majors. Perry Open ended up finishing 5th. That's a major event before the Hanoi Open. Didn't do as well the following event, which is the Hanoi Open. Finished 33rd. Yeah, a little hiccup from the 2 to the 3. Got fortunate to have a nice cross side on the 3. Speaking of 3, he's going to win game number 3. Shout out to our sponsors, Diamond Tables, best and chosen player table in the world. There is no better table. The Black Diamond, most consistent in most players' opinion. Aramith balls, these are the balls we're playing with here. A lot of people like the Aramith blacks. I just started playing with them recently, and I felt like the black within the balls was going to cause problems at aim point. That's not happened. It's actually easier for me to see. So I can see why people are using Aramiths and the blacks. And Simona's cloth, second to none, best cloth in the world. See if he chooses to break from this left position again. Came just short the 1 last time. Maybe just a tick more towards the center here. Yeah. So all 4 breaks between both players, the 1 has come short of the side. Woodward does have a look at the 1. Can track up and down. Get a decent look at the 2 here. Maybe a pinch of inside. Needs to settle. And he's going to overrun the mark. I think the reason for that is he caught the 1 a little thinner than he would have liked. Maybe a little quick. Have to ask him. He's a quick player and it really suits his style. Going straight at cross corner. And he hit the bank well, but he got a bad rub off the 7. Needs to come with a long one here. Nicely done. Great recovery from that position. Such a loose player, this young man. Really stepped his 1 pocket game up in the last year and a half. Bank pool game speaks for itself. As nice a guy as you possibly get. His wife, Ashley De La Cruz, as well. They just had their 2nd baby. So a true pool family. Who caught it real fat there. Something bothered him with the chalk, right? He really put a little extra time chalking his tip in, so something maybe caught his attention. Caught that real wide. Big sigh of relief as he walks towards the bottom end of the table. Woodward ties it up at 2 games apiece. Pretty big tournament that he won last year is the Big Time Classic. Skyler winning that, taking home $5,000. 2024. He earned almost $100,000. He wins $96,000, which isn't too bad for a pool bum. 2022, he was at 86,000. 2023, he was at 98,000. So he's very consistent in the tournament earnings. He's doing over there, but he's doing something. Taking a little time. I can tell you, it never hurts to take a little time in like day number 8 of the Derby City Classic. Now can he make a little adjustment? A huge adjustment there, and that was the hit that he was looking for. Take a look at this layout. If the 4 passes, which I believe it does, everything sets up for success here. Really, really clean hit on the 1 that time. Yeah, take another look. This is a lot more square, this hit. Notice the cue ball tracks 1 rail above the 9. Probably catching the 1 a little thicker is key on this table. And these guys make that adjustment on the fly. Would have liked to have carried a little further on the 4 here. Depends on how much in the pocket he's got. I don't think the 6 is hampering the bridge, really. It's a little tighter than he wanted to be. Just draw out 2 rails. Very well done. Do not see anything slowing him down here. His percentage back up above Labutis's. And I'm just kind of looking at some of the prize money he's earned, and I think his best year was probably 2019 MVP of the Moscone Cup. That was the last time Team USA brought home the cup. They're looking to do it again. It's got to happen soon. But he earned $119,000, which is a pretty good year. That was number 4 globally on the money list. So Woodward back in the lead, 3-2. But a great sign for him with the adjustment on the break shot. And I was just going to say, I don't know about everybody else out there, but I have a hard time racking the balls at 49 years old, reaching completely over the table. And Skyler, not exactly having the best time with it either. Definitely wants to get them frozen after his last result. He's not liking it. Does make a difference getting that 1 onto the 6 and 7 clearly.
Round 9, Anthony McLeano and Howard Skyler.
Yeah, something way off there. Something way off there. Now, Jeremy Jones did point it out. I'll never forget it. He pointed out, I think last year at some point, where Skyler can get a little quick with that final backswing and the break shot as far as bringing it back. Now, you're not going to see it really in slow motion here. But he does get a little quick versus the break shot prior. I don't know if that has anything to do with how far the one came short of the side. That all could simply be a result of a gap or something not correct within the rack. Labutis would like to chip the top side of this one here. Yeah, a little thinner than expected. Is it going to work out? He's going to have a good look here. Cue ball. Needs to avoid some traffic, like the 7 and the 9. I think really just got to focus on getting this ball down. Yeah, that's what he did. Really put the energy into the make. I don't know if you can send the 2 back up table and use the 6. I think it's doable. Really easy to lose the cue ball here. Well, he's done great with the old Q-Tech. Q-Tech player representative for quite some time now. I believe he used to be with Mucci. Playing with the Q-Tech, has his own line of cues now. Been doing really well with that. I'll tell you what, if I was a Carbon player, it would definitely be a Q-Tech. I like the way they hit. I just cannot get adjusted to the outside spin after 30 years of maple. Labutis. Why is he trying to kick to the top side of the 2 here? Oh, he sure is. Not a great reward. I think Woodward's got the side pocket here. Kind of interesting. I almost thought Labutis was going to get the jump cue or grabbed the jump cue, but he was putting an extension on there for that kick. Oof, that was a little tighter than it looked. If the 8 does pass. Want to be over the 8 or the 9 here. Does he elevate? Yeah, I think he's got to. He's one of the best in the game at this, the elevation. He's so great at elevating the cue. Gets a lot out of that cue ball. Yeah, what a big year 2019 was for this young man. Wins the Moscone Cup, wins the Master of the Table here at the Derby City Classic. Wins the Bank Division. No, actually, I believe he wins the 9-ball division in 2019. I'll get some confirmation on that. I believe he does win the 9-ball division in 2019. So that's clearly his best year to date, but I feel like his game has come up quite a bit since then. That being said, so is the competition. Woodward leading 4 games 8-2. He finished third in the Banks division, and he did win the 9-ball in 2019 at the Derby. Also the MVP at the Moscone Cup. Yeah, pretty special year for this young man in 2019. He'd like to repeat that again. Coming soon, right? How about next year for the Moscone Cup MVP? Did everything he could do in Orlando, Florida this year. It just wasn't in the cards. Tell you what, we did get a lot of shots after the break, and if we did, they were defensive plays versus, well, Team Europe always seemed to have a good look after the break. Is that luck? Over time, you've got to tip your hat and say that there's quite a bit of skill to it. But boy, we did get some cold rolls in Orlando. Yeah, just thin again, so coming short. I really don't know if it has anything to do with the backswing. Tell you what, this is something he could possibly take on. The back cut swerve to the right corner, just because the cue ball's kind of tracking the right direction. I don't think he will, but he's such a accurate shot maker. It's kind of a two-way play. That's, I guess, what I'm saying there. Could catch it thicker and just try and track down below the 8-2 off the third and fourth rail. Nicely done there, Labutis. Tough kick to judge here. Still trying to hit a specific point, a 1. And he did hit really where he needed to hit. A lot of good things happen in that situation. Might have come away with a little bit of a good finish there. I can't tell if you can see the top side of the one or not. Problem is, if he can, the cue ball's tracked right towards the 3. There's nothing straightforward kicking towards it. It hit plenty of it. Hard to tell from my view. 1 actually finished pretty tough as well. Chip the right side of it. If it was off the rail enough, he could use the 4. I think he's going to be forced to chip the right side of this ball and use the 8 to slow the 1 down. He's going to bank it up table. I feel like he might have overlooked one there. Well, this is do or die if he's going to play it to lower right. I don't believe he is, but if he is, it's do or die. Yeah, pretty smart play. Although, quite short. Smoked it on in. Without a doubt, top 5 bank pool players in the world today. I think I'd put him in the top 2, if not the best, at one point for a period of time. And I'm looking at this year he had in 2019, and he won the U.S. Open 8-ball, paid $10,000. Obviously won the Moscone Cup. He had extremely deep finishes in just about every event he played. Pretty impressive. World Cup of Pool finished 9th. World 10-ball championships finished 25th, but for the most part, I mean, he's in the top 5 in everything he did that year, practically. Nice stroke there to hold the cue ball in towards the 4. Now he can stay below the 9, which is perfect. He's off to the races. Looking to win game number 7. Pretty easily as well. Labutis coming up short on the defensive play on the 1. Watch out here. No way. Did it get him? Look at this reaction too. Yeah. I'll tell you what, he put a little bit of outside spin on this ball, right? You see the curve on the cue ball, the way it's turning. And that spin is what carried that cue ball all the way to the point. It never really looked like it was going to get there, and it just continued to carry. My goodness, what a big swing that might be. Looking to lead by 3 games at 5 games to 2. Just kind of flailed it to kick at the 8. I understand the frustration. Maybe regroup a little bit there. Now, Labutis within 1 and breaking the balls. It's momentum swings like that can really make the difference in a match. You just didn't see it coming, though. Got a feel for Woodward in that position. Although that outside spin did carry the cue ball. Yeah, he's definitely got the break shot down a little bit better. He's now got the 1 down twice. Woodward did hit it good 1 time. I don't think he's got anything aggressive here. 3 here at the bottom end of our table. 2 does bank to the right side, but the 4 is a huge problem. Swing around for the cue ball. So I don't think it's an option. Unless he thinks he can somehow draw out of that. I don't believe he's ever going to shoot that. He's got options with cover here. Probably try to get down below the 3. Not the worst, that's for certain. All right, how can Woodward cover from that, yeah, kind of a fluky corner hook there? Well, I'd say he can recover pretty good. That's a really nice hit from where he was. So when you're in this position, you've got two choices, right? You can play the bottom side of the 2, but the 2 is so close to that right long rail that the accuracy to the side is pretty good. Well, he was at the speed at which he hit it, he was definitely looking to play safe, catch the bottom half of the 2 there. He just caught it a lot thicker than he expected. Looking to catch a piece of the 5 here, maybe, which is fine. Which guaranteed a shot on 3. Catching a piece of the 5, unless you catch it dead in the face. Oh. Yeah, did that corner hook become toxic? That's what you've got to ask yourself there. Maybe time for a break for Woodward. He was in total control, playing really good. Just a fluky corner hook to the right side pocket there on the 8. Labutis will eat you alive if you allow it to get to you. Yeah, staying well below the 3 here for the combination. That way you can just float up. You're going to stay somewhere around it for position. Is he concerned about being low enough, though? Thought he would draw that ball. Surprised he went forward, especially with the 4 being where it's at. So I expected him to draw the cue ball there a little bit, or just kind of stun up. Either going to get shot in the lower left or the side there. Now forced to go to the top right. Wiggled it in. Literally wiggled it in. Par for the course for Woodward. He can definitely afford to get flat or straight on the 7. Doesn't want to end up frozen. But somewhere near straight's okay. Well, he had the off angle. Looked like he was almost above the 6 to me. I like what he did there. Kept it very simple. '25th on the money list last year was Labutis. Looking to improve that this year as he ties this matchup at 4 games apiece with a devastating error from Woodward in game number 7, where we look back at the 8 ball and say that that was the turning point in this match. Woodward really can't afford a 9th round loss. Candela beat him in round 6, 9 games to 7, as I touched on earlier. Labutis, no losses. Just cruising along. Beat Josh Roberts in 2nd round, 9 games to 3. Then a young, up-and-coming American player, Nathan Childress, him in round 6, 9 games to 6. Survival of the fittest is the Derby City Classic. I used to feel like I own this entire event when I was 23, 24 years old, back in the early days. Things change when you get older, especially here. Yeah, he has that down now. Everything laying nice. If he can swerve to the 2, guess you could say the 7 a little tricky as well as the 4, but if he can get the 2 down, I'm thinking he can swerve to the right of the 9. Gets a bigger turn on the left side. Push out, well, I don't think it's really existent here. I guess you could push out to some type of a jump, but you really don't want to chance it. Is he looking to kick at this? It gives you an idea of how tricky it is. Well, to me, or at least on the screen, it looks like it's kind of just a half swerve around the right side of the 9, but obviously the distance of the cue ball and where the 9 is at could be the biggest problem. Yeah, I don't know. Pushing out. Okay. So you rarely see a ball hanging like this and then calling the push out. Well, the cue ball did a little dipsy-do there towards the green 6. Could have been a piece of chalk on the table. Could have been anything. I'll tell you what, I feel like the 6 could be in play here if you're trying to swerve around the left side of the 9. Obviously, Sky's going to have the best look at it. He's going to give it back. But when you're putting extreme right on this with an elevation, it is extremely easy to glance right towards the 6. Because the Q-tip is pushing the cue ball outward immediately.
All right, table 10, Circle Gomez at right, Chippy.
Wow. Okay, so I don't know if the 6 dictated that or not. He went into the 3. He definitely could have come out more. 6 wasn't the issue. Yeah, I guess concerned at the moment about the 4. Notice his rhythm's a little bit stunned at the moment. It's a brutal game, can be very cruel. Everything has changed since snookering himself on that point. It's an opportunity to go up 5 games to 2 and really in total control. He's got to make something happen here. Yeah, did he overrun this even just a little bit? Is he looking to draw off the 8 back to the side rail here? He's not thrilled. Hard for me to tell how steep this is. Can he draw past the 7 or does he have to punch over? Yeah, he's punching, so this is not going to roll off. Wow. It's probably the best shot in his bag is that stun punch shot where he's got to force the cue ball out and really kind of cheat the pocket. he definitely cheated that pocket. Well, he caught the 6 too thin, that's why. Well, he didn't even get there, catching it too thin. He's landed near perfect on the cross side. Everything a little difficult for Sky right now. Doesn't take much to forget about that little error earlier on. Yeah, this is about as good as it gets. So he got it done. It wasn't clean, but he got it done. Really a massive game, in my opinion, in this match. Skyler gonna take a quick timeout. So are we. Massive game for Woodward there. I don't know if you guys know him, but Mike Page, the developer of Fargo, or one of the developers of Fargo, he is a friend of mine. We don't talk a lot. It's been a long time, but you know, I think it's a great system for pool in general. Obviously, they're using it at the highest levels. Definitely ingenious. I used to gamble a lot. If I was a gambling guy, and I've said this many times, Labutis is only a game down. They've got Woodward as a 66% favorite to win this match. It's still a race to 9. He still needs to win 4 more games. He's only an 8-12 versus an 8-07. Is there really that big of a difference? Then you've got to look at so many different little variables that happen within each one of these matches, such as the 8. Does that bother Sky going forward mentally? He's such a world-class player. I don't think it does, but it can. These guys are human. First thing he needs to do is start to dial this break in. Oh, and that's a much better hit. I tell you what, he didn't get jerky in the backswing there, and the slow motion replay is not going to show it. It's really a real-time thing that you've got to be able to see. He didn't get real snatchy or quick in that final backswing through the break shot there. But you can see, well, that looked sped up almost. Trying to trick me over here. He doesn't like the angle. Can he avoid the traffic here and just go past the 5 and stay below the 3? Oh, he's going to come all the way out and around. I think that's a great choice, obviously. A lot more room for error there. Didn't know he could hit it that firm and still avoid the 5. Skyler looking more like Skyler. Pace is picking up again. He's a bad little man with a big, big heart. Even though he's a quick player, I think that's something I kind of take for granted. Oftentimes he will walk around and look at where he needs to be. He just does it at such a quick pace sometimes that you tend to want to overlook that. And there's that outside spin towards the side pocket again. He said, not this time. Very nicely done. Yeah, Woodward back in control after game number 10, leading by 2 at 6 games to 4, and maybe that 66% is accurate or was accurate. Did have the break. He did have control. Obviously, numbers never lie. Or at least they say. Love to break the balls just like he did last game. The great Federer Gorst on the right side of our screen. Putting a hurt into somebody. Oh, yes. Just short with the 1, but I'll tell you what, the cue action was good again. I can see it before the action of the object balls take place. Really just short with the 1. Got the 8 down. And something else, so I believe the 7. He can manage this. Do you track towards the 9 and try to use the 2, or do you just come all the way back using the 9, 2, and 4? Chipping the 1 up towards, towards the back of the 5. Maybe a high left ball or a little bit of outside here. I think you've got to play the 1 towards the bottom of the 5. Maybe he looks to dig under it, 2-rail the 1. Okay. I thought he had more natural line to come back towards the 2 and the 9 there. And a little less movement on the object ball as well. Maybe just chipping the 1, but we'll never know. Yeah, maybe cut the 1 a touch thick there. Can Sky avoid the 6? Meaning come across the top of it here and wrap around this lower right corner. I think it's doable. Yeah, might even get a shot towards the right side here. How did he do? How was the speed? You can't get much better than that. He stayed very still on that ball as well. Well, this is what world-class players do. They recover quickly. He has long forgotten about that 8 ball. I haven't, because it's a talking point, and it's something that happened that we can look at and learn from on the outside. But as a player, it's a figment of his imagination. Yeah, so a little jockeying for position on the 1 after the break. Woodward wins that battle, comes with a good long shot on the 1 to start it out. Now going to take a lead by 3 games. He's disappointed after 8 or 9 days of pool. He's got to walk around and get the extension, and I don't blame him. I'm tired just watching. Boy, that's a long queue now, isn't it? My goodness gracious, that thing towers over him. And this score starting to tower over Labutis, 7 games to 4. Woodward in the lead. Did a little damage as of late as well. Woodward in round number 7 beat a player I don't know that you guys have heard of or not, but his name is Levan Corteza. Beat him pretty good too, beat him 9 games to 3. Then he beat Jeffrey DeLuna in round number 8. Hill. So that one wasn't quite as straightforward. Little nail biter there. He's definitely getting his play out. If you don't think you get to play a lot of pool at the Derby City Classic, just keep winning. And you'll see how much pool you get to play. And that's the beauty of this event. From all over the world come to participate in the Derby City Classic. Woodward. Game number 12. Short with the 1. Did get the 8 down. Very thin here. Will not be playing this, I don't believe. Can use the 5 and 4. Also the 3 here. Just track 1 rail down. Or does he think he can play this? I just don't think so. Really surprised there what he had inside on that cue ball, which tells me that maybe he was going towards the 1. To making it, I don't believe so though. Just a miss hit. Two 9 pretty jumbled up down there. You might be able to go towards the 9 off the second rail just below the right-hand side pocket. You have to spin this quite a bit. And he did. He wanted to make sure he just got below the 2. Cannot fault him. Does he have room? I don't believe he can get around the 7. I think he's going to have to go to the second rail here. If he makes solid contact with the 2, though, that 4 looks good to the left side. 2 could go in to the lower right off the 4. A lot of good things happens here with good contact. A lot of these guys will use a little bit of a right cue ball off that second rail. Well, 4 just off the point. Finished awkward though. Something I love about Labutis' game though, his pace around the table. Really, the emotions never really change. Yeah, can you double bank it kind of down below the 7 and 9 and just use the 3? 3's probably your biggest ball here. He's acting like he can hit it thinner and get below the 5. Okay, he's using the 3. Well, Woodward already towards the jump queue here. As close, I don't believe Labutis wanted to get the 2 that close, and as close as the 2 is, it's hard to turn this down. Especially with the 3 in open space. Just all focused, trying to knock this in. Yeah, he's not going to get rewarded. He hit it great. I didn't feel like he was going to have much trouble even if he went into the 7 and 9. Take another look. I don't know that you can really hit this ball. Yeah, any better than that. So a little chilly there, coming in. Resting towards the back of the 5. Second jump shot in a row coming up. Oh, wow. Actually hit that really nice from where he was. That's pretty much do or die. Here, he's got to make a move. Labutis. Well, this is definitely missable. Thought he would just feel a little bit better. Excuse me, I apologize. I finally made the mistake. That is the 4. I thought he was going to have to play the 5-8 combination, but the 4 was still on the table. The 8's been long gone. They've got him as a 10% to win this match. Just one rail up here. Yeah, a little weak. Back and forth. Like to come below the left side. Makes it more missable putting a low ball on this. Now, as clean as you can get. Just watch the right corner. Guess he had to just take a little gamble there and let snow go. That wasn't exactly clean, but he got it done. Labutis within 2. Thank you once again, Diamond Tables. Best table in the business. Thank you for your sponsorship. All you've done, Greg Sullivan, Diamond Billiard Products. Really appreciate it. Making the best pool table in the world. Clearly, players' favorite. Aramith balls, thank you so much for everything you've done. You've been around nearly 100 years. Coming out with the Aramith Blacks. And I believe the 100th anniversary set that you can't get your hands on at this point. If you have a set, let me know. I'd be interested. Last but not least, Simona's cloth. This is Tour Blue. A lot of people actually moving on to the Shark Gray as well, which is, it's all good in my opinion. Yeah, so like I just said, I'll clarify it again. Just so everybody knows, this cloth here is Tour Blue or Tournament Blue. We as the players call it Tour Blue. Matchroom has started to go to a shark gray. We used it back in the day during bonus ball, and I'll tell you what, there wasn't a single player, I think there was around 96 players, there wasn't a single player that had an issue with the shark gray. Something I like about the shark gray is it kind of brightened things up. It's a little lighter than this tour blue or tournament blue. Both are great. I actually have a friend that has red Simonos cloth. It's a little bit dark for these old eyes. Just gonna punch one rail out here. Settle. Held its line quite well. Might have to put a little inside on this. I don't think he wants to come over to the left side of the table here. He can just stay above the 7. But in order to get where he's putting his cue, I think he's got to pinch this with a little inside. Yeah, just a little. Doesn't want to end up straight. Yeah, he's falling below the 7. No problems here. Not where he wanted to be. Just one rail over to the right long rail. Turned out perfect. Played really good this match. I mean, there's no real big glaring errors that stick out to me. Obviously, a couple of funny things that have happened. I don't feel like Pijus has played bad either. It's obviously why these guys are in round number 9, looking to move forward. Now, Woodward 1 game away from finishing this off. Got him at a 94%. Labutis at 6% to win the match. And I'll tell you what, with this format racking the 9 on the spot, makes putting these racks together a little bit more difficult. These guys make it look so easy at the Moscone Cup. A lot of these other majors, Hanoi Open, well, even the Reyes Cup now over there in the Philippines this year. Unbelievable how tight these pockets are. The U.S. Open in the States in Atlantic City, we're talking 4-inch with a very deep shelf. Some say 3.78-inch pockets. It really does kind of highlight the game of 9-ball. Puts a lot more into it than just making balls. You've got to really dial in on your tactic side. Everything's got to come together. But these top players, they make it look extremely easy. It's just a credit to where the game has gone. Woodward, no lives remaining. This is a must-win match. He would love to finish this match out with a break and run. Labutis does have a life left. Well, he's got the 5 down. I don't know if that ball got kissed in or if it went directly in. There are times these guys will start to play the wing ball. I'll tell you what, this is probably one of my least favorite shots. I don't know about yours. But you're going to have to put a pinch of the outside on this ball. You overhit it at all, that cue ball will arc forward past the 4 and it go towards this lower left corner. You see it arc just a little there, but he carried a real nice speed on the ball. You rarely see Woodward with any body movement either, and that extremely powerful in a shot like that. You have to stay very still over the ball. Big shot there on the 1 for Sky. Now, and another big shot here, tracking down between the 3 and 4. Laying good now, a little thin, but natural. So the 4, tracking down between the 3 and 9. Now, if you think this young man can't play, DeLuna, Corteza, and now possibly Labutis, all basically back to back to back, I would say he is still a threat to win this event. Yeah, kind of misled me a little bit there. So he was too steep or did not like holding for the corner on the 7. Now just one good shot away. And I believe this is a little thinner than it looks. He can dig into it. Yeah, that was pretty thin. Came to the second rail. Yeah, pretty good resume as of late for Woodward with these 3 big wins and this win here. Nice recovery after the error on the 8 early. Woodward going to take this match 9 games to 5. The crowd loves it. We love it. Good luck to Labutis. He is still alive. Until next time, we'll talk to you all soon. Have a good night.